As a longtime fan of the original The Crow film from 1994, I must say that my excitement for the 2024 remake was palpable. Remember the impact that we had on me back then. The raw emotion, the punk aesthetic, and the hauntingly beautiful soundtrack. However, after watching the 2024 version, I can't help but feel tad disappointed. In the 2024 version of The Crow, and to recount a narrative similar to the original graphic novel and film, delving deeper into the backstory of the titular superhero. Unlike other adaptations where Eric and Shelley are killed rather swiftly, this movie invests more time in portraying their relationship. However, this change in emphasis didn't prove effective, as it prolonged the anticipation for the classic The Crow action after their deaths. Regrettably, it took even longer before Eric adorned the signature makeup that the character is famously known for: ours the last moral day, to see our people, and to see ours the last more. If the approach in the film had been altered, this decision might have succeeded. However, as portrayed in the movie, it gives the impression that the initial act of The Crow dominates an overwhelming portion of the film. This significantly disrupts the pace and rhythm of the traditional The Crow narrative. Since the relationship between Eric and Shelley wasn't particularly compelling, this new interpretation of the origin proves to be a significant error. What truly sets the Crow franchise apart is not just its story, but its unique and striking style. The 1994 version of The Crow in particular stands out due to its dark, edgy atmosphere, powerful music, and visually captivating elements, making it a notable representation of 90s coolness. Despite being live action, the film's style successfully evokes the feel of the original comics, even with numerous adaptational changes. Regrettably, the 2024 remake of The Crow fell short when it comes to its distinctive style, which is one of its major drawbacks. The film appears to be more available like a generic superhero blockbuster due to its direction, cinematography, editing, and music. It fails to make an impact compared to the original. However, there are some noteworthy moments, such as the bloody scene that occurs during the title cards. Yet the absence of style is a significant issue in the 2024 version of The Crow. And a significant issue with the 2024 adaptation of The Crow lies in its pacing, which is frustratingly slow, causing the entire film to drag excessively. The creative decision to delay Eric's transformation into The Crow until much later in the movie leaves the initial portion of the story feeling perpetually stuck in the first act. Given that fans of The Crow are well aware of the narrative arc and primarily anticipate superhero action, delaying Eric's metamorphosis results in the early scenes moving at a snail's pace for most viewers. In the film The Crow, crucial aspects of its enigma are revealed to viewers at an overly gradual pace, and the relatively uncomplicated plot is drawn out over almost 2 hours. Some critics have suggested that the running time should have been reduced, with improving the movie's tempo being a wise decision it could have taken. The 2024 version of The Crow might require some patience to reach its peak. However, it undeniably rewards viewers in the third act. Critics are particularly impressed with an opera action scene, which they consider the movie's highlight, and a testament to the film's potential for delivering graphic, bold, and aesthetically pleasing action. It is this scene that viewers are likely to recall as they exit the theater, but unfortunately, much of the rest of the movie doesn't live up to these expectations. As 2024's adaptation of The Crow veers significantly from the original tale, with several of these alterations coming across as rather peculiar. Once more, the movie deviates from Eric Shelley's origins, and almost every choice it makes is inferior to both the comic books and the 1994 film. In this reimagining, the deaths of Eric and Shelley lack the same level of graphic violence, and the decision to portray them as non-victims of a random act of violence diminishes the intrigue of the movie's world. And although The Crow distinctly differs from conventional superhero narratives, what truly sets it apart is its undeniable coolness. Despite appearing somewhat old-fashioned when viewed through the prism in 2020s, The Crow was remarkably cool upon its initial release. It effectively embraced the punk and gothic styles prevalent during that time, a fact that was brilliantly showcased to the 1994 movie, particularly through its music. Regrettably, the 2024 remake of The Crow lacks any cool factor. Its uninspired style and absence of originality make it an unappealing watch. The grittiness that The Crow is known for seems juvenile in this version, and it fails to recapture the magic that made the original comic and film so iconic. The 2024 reboot of The Crow fails to justify its existence and instead churns out a feckless, goopy, sloppy imitation of the 1990s classic. The 2024 film has tried to circumvent criticism by stating it isn't a remake, but an adaptation of the Crow comic books instead. Regrettably, the 2024 movie fails to establish its own merit, as it heavily leans on the elements that made the 1994 The Crow film successful. In conclusion, the 2024 remake of The Crow falls short of its predecessors in virtually every aspect. It fails to capture the essence of the original, lacks the cool and the factor that made the 1994 film a cult classic, and ultimately it fails to justify its existence. As a fan of the original, I can't help but feel it's time to let The Crow rest in peace.